Nearby rogue agent killed. Assistance.
What's up guys, Patrick Wolf here. So today's build video is going to be the diamond build. Now, originally I wanted to actually call this the broken diamond build because this build is crazy broken and it's really strong. It's just quite interesting to see what people are saying about this gun. After hardly testing it, they say that it's not very good, it's not viable in PvP. I've never killed people so easily in PvP in this game before. And I mean, yes, I do have decent aiming. If you have got good aiming, this is the perfect build for you. If you like using rifles, this is the perfect build for you. This is a PvP build, but it can be altered towards PvE. All you would need to do is be stacking, DTE, damage to elites. That's all you need to know. So guys, this is the diamond build. Now, this is very interesting. So we need to go over the talents of this gun. If you don't know, let's just go over it because this build is extremely basic. It's extremely, the meta kind of build. That there's nothing fancy about this build. It's just your run-of-the-mill rifle build that we've all seen before. But there are certain things that you have to run for this to be ridiculously strong. And I'm going to explain, guys. You guys need to listen to me on this one. There's a few things you need to run, which you will see ridiculous numbers. So before we get into it, let me just tell you guys, you will have 1 million armor. Yes, I know it doesn't sound right, but it only lasts for so many no, it constantly. You will have 1 million armor in PvE constantly, and you can ADS NPCs without going into cover at all. Now, this works in PvP as well. I've 1v1 various people in the DZ with 470k armor. Those guys that I 1v1 in those clips that you saw had 470k armor. I think the one guy had over 500,000, and I beat them pretty easily with quite a lot of armor left. Now, that was a few hours after I got the gun. So I've done a lot of testing, so hours and hours of testing, and I found that it's extremely difficult to use, but if you can land your shots, it's very interesting the way that you can run this build. So you guys need to pay attention. This is not just, go around and shoot. There's few things you need to proc for it to actually work really well for you. So this is the build that we're going to be using, guys. 315k armor, 100k health, and 1200 skill power. It's very important that your armor is decently high. Now, people will say, oh, it gives you armor, which is true, but you do not want to mitigate that armor because you want to get the percentage rolls as high as you can. So don't do that. Have at least 300k armor. Now, 100k health is where you want to be. I wouldn't go less than that because, you're going to have a lot of armor, guys, but you also want to have that little bit of backup. So it's all about just balancing it out for now. And 1200 skill power is extremely important for this build. So let's just go over this. So it's 211.7. Now, with this gun right here, I am doing 130k. And please do not bother wasting my time telling me that you are doing 170k. I've tried that with 160k and this is better. That you're too squishy. It doesn't work. You need to have the other utility in this build for it to work. Do not just be a dummy and spec all into damage unless you want to just hide in cover and snipe someone because that's all you're going to be doing. So just trust me on this one, guys. All right, so agonizing bite. You guys don't need to worry about any of this in PvP. You're going to be too busy firing, you know, at the enemy players rushing you. Funny enough, this is not a build that you're using cover. This is a up in your face build, and it's surprised me in many ways. I run up to people and I two-shot them with this. If someone is standing still ADSing you with an eagle bearer, you will kill them. If they're moving around, it is a bit more tricky, but this gun heals you like you have no idea, guys. You can tank infinite amounts of bullets. If the person you're fighting is not a god at aiming, you just won't die. It's really interesting, and I'm doing a lot of testing. And it's really fun to use. So don't worry about this. We will get into that. I'll make a PvE build if you guys would like. We'll see how well this build does. I'll make a full PvE build, maybe like 90% DTE, because this gun is perfect for PvE. It really is. But I'm just seeing how broken this is in PvP right now. It's ridiculous. So Deep Fangs is also something that you don't even worry about in PvP. That's for PvE. This is what we want now. Shedding skin is unbelievably strong. So while drawn, each time a round is loaded, gain plus 20% bonus armor for 3 seconds. So I get up to 1 million armor while I'm shooting you. Now, why is that? That doesn't equate to 1 million armor, but as we're going to see right here, so, okay, the holstered talent, don't worry about that. That's nothing you need to worry about. There are various talents in other guns that are better than that, so don't worry. Shedding skin is why this build is so good in PvP. So let's have a look quickly and see why. So the reason why is we can stack the amount of armor that we get using Bloodsucker. So this is extremely important to use Bloodsucker. So it adds a stack of 25% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Max stack is 6. So you could probably get over 1 million armor depending on what armor rolls you have on your gear. I've lucky enough to have a good armor roll and weapon damage, but you can get better. You can get another third armor roll, maybe like 30, 40k or something like that. So it's up to you guys what you can get. Let me just show you quickly what I'm talking about here. So when you're in cover, or when you're out of cover and you're just aiming at someone, and you fire your gun, as you can see, we're reloading and you can see all the armor that's stacking is crazy. But look at this. So Bloodsucker is maintaining this. Bloodsucker maintains it. As long as you keep firing, you can get crazy amounts of armor, and it's something to look into if you guys aren't, if you're skeptical, because this is ridiculous. And I found that you can do a lot of damage. As you can see, the headshot this is a named NPC, and this is a rifle build. So as you can see, guys, look at the armor. If you carry on shooting people, especially in PvE, you pop one round at them, you stack some Bloodsucker, and when you reload, you just carry on shooting. You just carry on shooting because when you reload, you're just getting your armor back. So the person will be shooting you. Look at my armor. Look at it. And it stays there for a while, and then you know what I mean, it's still there, and then it goes, but you just keep stacking it. And like, especially if you get into an engagement like a 1v1, you should be shooting the other person, drop your chem heal, using Bloodsucker, you're stacking armor and just constantly reloading while you're running around. The guy won't kill you. It's really strong, and the damage that this thing puts out to players it's a 2-shot. And the people that I 2-shotted had just under 500,000 armor. So I mean, it might be possible to 1-shot with On the Ropes. But let's just get into this build so you guys, I hope you do understand the explanation that I just gave you. It's a bit tricky to use, but if you can use this correctly, it's extremely strong. So this is going to be a quick run through of this. I'm glad I've explained it to you guys because this is just basic. So you want to have health, skill, haste, whatever you can. Skill power would be good as well. Now spotter is important for this because we're going to be using a pulse. Now On the Ropes, you guys know we don't want to use On the Ropes, so don't use On the Ropes for this build because the skill haste is just too good. So the next piece, obviously I've shown you this one right here. Bloodsucker, make sure you guys have that. The reason why we have this is I actually want to run an assault rifle as a secondary. And to have this nice little skill power roll. It's important for your heals with Precise. Precise is a must-have on this build. I'm sure you guys know that from previous rifle builds. And over here, we don't want to run On the Ropes. Skills come back too quick these days. Now, you can roll weapon damage. I don't have the perfect backpack for this, but efficient is extremely important. That just helps you heal as much as you can. Use your medkits, get them back as quick as possible. Hardened is important because we want to get our armor up there. So just make sure you have a decent roll there. But the reason why I've got skill power is because I like to have my 80% heal mod. So it's important to roll skill power wherever you can. So I guess instead of your mask having skill haste, roll that on your mask and then put weapon damage on your backpack. Either way, it depends how you guys want to play. Alright guys, I'm sure you are aware that in some of the clips where I killed those people, I was using On the Ropes on my backpack. So that is dependent on you. Now I would not run On the Ropes if you want to play around in a group. If you really need the damage, it does work with the pulse and the chem launcher, but you would have to maybe not do the skill haste part if you just would like a boost in damage. So the piece that I was actually using was this one right here. So it is a very strong backpack. I do a lot of damage with it. 8.5% weapon damage. 10k health, 12k armor with On the Ropes, so that gives you a nice boost in damage, but the problem is that's in a testing environment. So I would recommend going with the normal backpack that I've used here because you'll be using these armor kits a lot more often, and the skill power is great for using your chem to give you that extra healing. So it's up to you guys. Use On the Ropes if you would like to. If you really would like to go up to, like, let's say one player who's bothering you and to wreck him, put on the ropes in your backpack. It does work, as you saw in the clips. So it depends how you want to play, but that's what I think about, well, what you should run for the backpack talents. Then you're going to need this. You're going to need an Overlord Armaments gloves with health, rifle damage, and compensated. Now that's not easy to get. If you guys don't have it, try find it. It's RNG, but it's very strong. This gives us a lot of damage because obviously we don't need to crit, because when you hit a headshot, normally the players are marked, so you actually get a crit every single time. So it's like a constant crit. So if you say, well, use an MK17, no. This gives you a constant crit to the face, and it does massive damage. So you actually use this more like a shotgun. This is a shotgun. This is not a rifle, guys. I'm telling you right now. You can two tap people in the face with it's like a premeditated shotgun. So shotguns are back in a sense. If your aiming is good, you can use it like a shotgun. It's quite funny. So I've gone for health here for obvious reasons. I want to get that 100k health so that we're going to be stacking the armor from Bloodsucker and from various perks on the gun. So don't worry about that too much. Entrench is important. This gives us 10% of your armor back. So this just helps for using a rifle. I always use this on my knee pads. It's a must. Entrench is extremely important. It really does help a lot, and it repairs your armor very quickly. Even in PvP, if you can get into cover, you can just constantly heal yourself, plus the reloading. You'll probably, this doesn't stack. This actually just recovers your armor. So it's not like the other pieces, but this could just add more utility to this build and just further enhance it. So all your mods you're going to be running is obviously armor and health. Just balance them out so you can get the balance that I've got right here. Then we're going to go into the skills. Now I've gone for the normal pulse because I like to see where people are. It's a 16-second cooldown, so that's why on the ropes is not too great, but you could use on the ropes. Just depends what backpack you have. Some of us don't have the best backpacks. 102% skill haste. Now this is where it gets important as well. You can drop your chem while you're having all this ridiculous armor stacking, while you're shooting the guy in the face, and you got 80% heal, 91,000 HP from each chem. So I just dropped this, as you can see in the footage that I showed you earlier, and it just heals you really quick. You feel invincible when you use this build. It's a strange sense, but it's definitely something to try. So I recommend you guys give this a try on PvP. PvE build is coming soon. I'm just trying to get the right pieces. It's going to be strong. It's very strong in PvE, and it's going to be a lot of fun for people who like to use rifles. So let's go into the stats for a second. All right, so at the moment we're doing 130k damage, which is pretty high. 100% weapon headshot damage, which is great. That's exactly what we want. Assault rifle, that's going to be nice for obvious reasons because we're going to be using it as a secondary. Then 10.5% all weapons damage and 30, so that's 40.5% just on there for the rifle weapons damage. So that's pretty good. Then over here, as you can see, 38% skill haste. It's very nice to have the skill haste these days because you want your chem launcher. So make sure when you're modding your utility mods on your gear, you want to make sure you put the chem launcher skill power ones so you can get your skill power high enough to put those good rolls on. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the build. Now make sure you run the sharpshooter specialization because make sure the rifle damage is active. That's pretty obvious, but if you guys didn't know that, make sure you put your rifle damage fully maxed out and put the headshot damage because that will work with this build now. It works with rifles and marks on rifles, so make sure to put sharpshooter on. That's very important with this build. You can't run anything else, so make sure you do that. And yeah, so this is the diamond build. It's a PvP build and it's crazy strong. I'm probably going to be using this when I live stream on my next few videos. Not really videos, just playing with it it's just very surprising, especially in the DZ. Now, what does happen, guys, is it does get mitigated a bit when you go into the normalized modes, which is annoying, but it makes sense because obviously your stats are lowered, so it needs to lower it down because that would be broken. So give it a try. I recommend using this in the non-normalized. That's where it works the best. And anyways, guys, this was the diamond build. I hope you did enjoy it. It's very strong, very fun to use. Not the easiest build in the world, but give it a try. Like I say in all my videos, my builds are templates. They are not min-maxed, so don't message me and tell me yours is better because I couldn't care less. Because at the end of the day, I'm not min-maxing these builds. I'm putting them out to show my subscribers what they can do to help them out and to give you guys the best advice that I possibly can. So use this as a template, update it, change it the way you want to. There's no way that you should keep the, normally when I mention the elements such as Bloodsucker, you need that for the build to actually work properly. That's where a lot of people are going wrong. They're going for damage rolls and stuff like that. Don't do that. We need to abuse this shedding skin perk. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I will be seeing you agents in the next video. Peace out, boys.